Hi, great to see you, Dr. Mate.
Thank you.
You can call me Ryder. My Ryder handle is my system name.
Okay.
I'm a multiple, and I'm a retired RN of 27 years. And I've been finding a lot of parallels between your type of compassionate inquiry work and what it is to sense yourself at these different levels of development. So I've been uncovering my multiplicity for a couple of years in a lot of non-standard ways. And I've been looking.
Really quick before you go on, you might want to explain to us what you mean by multiplicity, okay?
Like a dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality is what the DSM language would be.
So you have multiple personalities?
Yeah.
And when you're in one personality, you fully believe yourself to be that personality, or are you aware that there's these others and you happen to be in one of them? How does that work for you?
I'm what's called a median system. So I don't have these jump outs where I'm completely different.
Okay.
A lot of people will be obviously different at times and blend and sort of switching influence a bit. So typically when you're talking, you're always talking at least 2, if not 3 people, and others sort of standing by. Okay. So it's quite an interesting thing to find myself after all these years of practice and looking at disease and looking at mental illness, to be uncovering my multiplicity and seeing how different configurations of multiplicity just seem to be a very kind of a corresponding approximation for a DSM diagnosis exists. So I was for years diagnosed as bipolar, and I've been off all those medications for over a year now, and feeling 5 times better without the medications. So my question basically was, I've put into the Facebook group looking for some help to run a book club on when the body says no. And I'm doing somatic work myself, and I'm feeling like as I'm checking in with different layers of myself for some of this stuff, I'm having a lot of kind of like revelations and different sort of ideas and competing sort of energy. So I don't feel like I'm really that great a person to run a book club for a number of us here in the group. And I'm wondering if there's a co-facilitator, one of your compassion inquiry people or somebody who's adept with that book who might want to join our club and kind of like shotgun for me, because I think I'll be getting into like a lot of the multiplicity stuff in relation to the body stuff. It's
all right. So your fear is that given your quote unquote diagnosis with this DID, you're not stable enough to lead a group because you never know who's going to show up. Is that what you're saying?
I'm doing stand-up comedy as a multiple, and I don't know who shows up when we get on stage.
Okay.
And
how's that working out?
It's actually quite a learning experience. It's kind of like, putting a knife to your throat and saying, okay, let's do something. And it's an adrenaline rush, but I don't want to put myself into a position as leading a book club and then having certain members feel like, oh, this guy's so off on his multiplicity tangent a lot of the time. I thought we were here to discuss.
So you're worried about other people's experience. Is that the case?
Yeah, I don't want to be solely kind of like handling it. I think I need somebody to kind of like stay on track with more your compassionate inquiry stuff if I'm going to be discussing your book.
You're right. I got 2 answers for you. Okay.
Okay.
One of them is, if any of the people that work with me in compassionate inquiry feel moved to contact you,
right,
and I want to join this, I can only, that's between you and them. I can't volunteer anybody. I can't name anybody on their behalf,
Right.
That's the first point. The second point is, why do you have to see yourself as the leader? You could actually say to your group, let's have a group, and here's how it is for me. Sometimes X will show up, and sometimes Y will show up, and sometimes X, Y, and Z will show up at the same time.
Yeah.
Can you handle that? You could actually just ask for permission to show up, see how the group feels about it. In other words, not take that responsibility onto yourself.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm just thinking, you know, for about a month and a half, I've been in the Facebook group trying to put this book club together, and part of me, the hesitation is that, you know, I'm gonna twist it off into a more of a discussion on multiplicity in certain ways, and I don't want people to have that expectation, you know.
All right, when was the first time in your life that you felt responsible for how the people were doing?
When was the first time?
Yeah, how far the sense of responsibility that you have?
Well, I'm an adoptee, so I have this whole medical trauma adoptees thing going on, and I've always felt that sort of like necessity to perform or necessity to meet expectations to maintain attachment and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, Ryder, notice that that's what's showing up right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's all that's really going on.
Oh, yeah, that's like 90% of it. The 10% piece of it for me is, and I think you've answered the question, just get people aware of where you're coming from and then see if they want to sign on or not.
Exactly. That's exactly, yeah. By the way, if you're not aware of internal family systems, that's also a great way of working with this multiplicity that you described.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a YouTube channel, and I did a discussion intersecting internal family systems, self, non-duality, and multiplicity. So I'm always going really wide concept and blending stuff together. So that can be a little overwhelming for people. So yeah, I just need to.
Again, you're taking responsibility.
I'm playing at different levels, so it's a little exhausting for some people.
Well, what's it like for you? So we're always worried about how other people are responding.
I actually find I'm okay with not leaving people behind, but creating more questions than I am answers.
Hold on. Listen, slow down. Check in with yourself right now, okay?
Yeah.
What's going on for you?
I guess there's some conflict there with that statement that I'm okay with it. I feel like I sometimes lose people and they don't know what the hell to make of me, and I'm.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to guess anything. Okay, I guess you said. I'm asking you, check in with yourself right now and tell us what's going on.
It feels difficult to connect to people effectively.
No, that's not
when I'm on different layers.
You're still giving me analysis.
Okay.
I'm asking you to check in with yourself right now. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Okay. What's going on for you?
I have a little sort of panic or attachment pressure where I don't think I'm coming across very well, or I'm.
That again is analysis. Okay.
Okay.
No. Attachment pressure. I don't think I'm going across well. I'm asking you, what's going on inside you right now? Panic, you said. Okay.
Yeah, it's
slow down. Just notice how quick you are to jump in.
Right.
Notice that.
Well, I've always got 5 ideas ready to go, so it's like.
But
if I distill this for a minute, yeah.
Right now, I'm not interested in your ideas. Okay. Your ideas valid, interesting, pertinent, insightful. I'm not asking you about that right now.
Right.
I'm asking you what's happening for you right now. Okay? Now just don't be quick to answer. Just tap in. Take a few breaths. What's happening for you right now?
It's like there's so much of me that wants to be known, that has been hiding for years. So
Okay.
we've been this.
Are you still giving me an analysis? Okay. Something in you wants to be known. Is that the case?
Yeah, there's a big part of me that's just never really been at the forefront of things, always kind of hiding behind things.
Okay. Now notice that every time I ask you a question, you give me an analysis. Okay. I don't want to hear your analysis. I want to know you right now. What's going on for you right now?
Just feel exposed, like pretty raw in certain ways.
Okay, thank you. Now we're getting somewhere, okay? Is it okay if I continue with this line of questioning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Exposed is not a feeling. Exposed is a perception. Exposed means that what does it mean to be exposed, by the way?
Kind of like I'm taking off my ego or unmasking and being more,
So one way to
opening
put
myself to an authentic kind of exchange, but not really knowing what channel to use. if,
Oh.
that, if that makes sense.
So exposed means another way to say exposed. Like if I took my clothes off, nobody needs to worry. I'm not going to do it. Okay. As much as you want me to, but I'm not going to. Okay. If I took my clothes off and you saw my body, okay, then you'd see the real body. Is that right?
Yep.
So in other words, for exposed is real.
Yeah.
But exposed implies a kind of shame or embarrassment or fear. Is that right?
Yeah, it feels very raw, like I'm
So
stepping out on the ledge kind of thing.
yeah. So there's fear there. So to show yourself is to put yourself in danger. That's what you're saying.
Right. There's been a pattern of,
Okay, stay with me.
right.
Show yourself is to expose yourself to danger. Is that the case?
Yeah. Criticism, danger, rejection.
Right. All right. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Tell this group, people, I'm really afraid to show myself because I'm afraid that if I do, I'll be judged, criticized, rejected. That's your truth, right?
Yeah, I have a
Excuse me. That's your truth, right?
yeah, I can feel that lump in my throat right now. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're open to doing it. Actually talk to the group. Don't give them an analysis. Just say, people, I want you to know me, but I'm so afraid that if you do, you're going to reject me or judge me. If that's true for you, I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you to
Yeah, yeah.
And tell the group that. Just tell them that.
I have a inability to be consistent at times, and when I show myself fully and there's this inconsistency that I can't control, or this kind of weird energy that comes up, and I'm reliving some trauma, or I'm being a little bit demanding or aggressive, or in my different parts, I feel like I'm out of control, and I there's part of me that does not want people to see that, so I'm managing.
I'm going to interrupt again, Ryder. You're still analyzing. You're still talking about yourself in the third person.
Okay.
I'm asking
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I see what you're saying. It's hard to talk to it's hard to talk about yourself in the first person when you've got a couple of them floating around. It's
not hard. You can actually do it.
Okay. Guide me through it. I'm with you. It's a different sense of.
I've been trying to guide you through it, but you keep hiding behind your diagnosis.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Work with me now. Okay, I'm going to say some words. If they sound right to you, repeat them. Speak to the group. Okay.
Okay.
If they don't seem right to you, don't say that doesn't seem right. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm gonna say something. You just say it after me, so long as it's your truth. Okay. And not if it's not your truth. Okay. Are you ready for that?
Sure.
Dear group.
I'm afraid of exposing.
Okay, no.
Authentic self.
Just follow me. Okay.
Okay.
Repeat what I'm saying. If it seems right to you. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just doing an exercise here. It's a game.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, it's a role play or
yeah, it's a role play.
Invitation.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the words. You follow me. If it's true, don't follow me if it's not true. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Dear group.
Dear group.
Thank you. You're just talking to, just be aware you're talking to a whole group. There's about 280 people here. Okay, we'll start again and talk to them. Dear group.
Dear group.
Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you for being here with me.
I have a fear.
I have a fear.
I want you to know me. I'd like you to know the authentic me.
I want you to know me, and I'd like you to know the authentic me.
But I've had a problem all my life.
But I've had a problem all my life.
And that problem is present with me now.
And that problem is present with me now.
Which is that as much as I want you to know me, as much as I want you to know me,
in as much as I want you to know me,
I have a fear that if you see the real me,
I have a fear that if you see the real me,
with all my multiplicity,
in all my multiplicity,
and my complexity,
my complexity,
my confusion,
my confusion.
if you see all that,
I didn't catch that last part.
if you see all that,
if you see all that,
you're going to be overwhelmed.
You're going to be overwhelmed.
And that's going to be too much for you.
And it will be too much for you.
And then you'll reject me.
And then you'll reject me.
And you refuse to see the authentic me.
And you
will refuse to see the authentic me.
Yeah, I don't know about refuse. I think maybe you'll miss seeing the authentic me.
Fair enough. You won't be able to see the authentic me.
Right. Yeah, you'll be dazzled by the weird layers instead of looking at the basic person.
And that'll be too much for you.
And that'll be too much for you.
And I'll be left all on my own again.
And I'll be left on my own again.
Okay, Ryder, did that seem authentic to you?
Yeah, that's very
No, just yes or no. Did that seem
Yeah,
okay?
very on point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Are we complete for now?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great centering for sure. Really appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.